Hopefully I'm College. So my name is Krishna Swath. I am at the Harvard University in the School of Public Health and at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, which is associated with the Harvard University. So I'm going to talk about something entirely different. I'm not going to talk about cells. I'm not going to talk about molecules. I can barely spell molecules or cells. I am what they are called as a population scientist or a social scientist. Right? It's a very different approach than sitting in a lab and making great discoveries, right? So, but let me start with a story. The story starts about 30 years ago. I was a kid who grew up in Hyderabad. All my life was a city kid. But I was visiting one village in India doing some research as a part of my master's program. The Indian government at the time wanted to use the television to promote health and agriculture. So they sent me to the village, they sent a group of students to the village to do investigations and research to understand how people get health information about health, how information about maintaining good health, preventing disease. And so we were doing research, a bunch of two of us who grew up in a city. We were sitting outside the village in a small area that was the Harijan Wada, as they used to call it at the time. We were sitting on a cot asking people a number of questions. One woman pushed through everybody else and came forward and showed her 3-year-old son to me and said, "Can you treat him?" The son had half of his eye closed completely with some kind of growth. Completely. I was totally helpless. I felt like an idiot. What can I do? I'm not a doctor. I'm in this village. She is helpless and she wants my help. What in the world can I do? I gave a very stupid response. The stupid response was, "Can you take him to a doctor?" What the heck of a response is that? If she can take him to a doctor, why would she come to me and ask me that question? Right? There is a doctor right in the next village, but the doctor is never available. The doctor and his wife, actually both of them are doctors. They have a house, they have built a wonderful fancy building, a nice clinic, a nice house, but they are never there. So she could have gone somewhere else, but she chose to come to us. It is that puzzle. Why is it that she has not been able to go to the next village and talk or consult with the doctor? Why is it that she has not been able to go and talk to someone else in the village who could be more helpful to her? Why did she come to me? It is these kinds of puzzles that fascinate me. Why do people do what they do? What is the kind of information that they have that leads them to act in a particular way? Right? So I wanted to understand much more about human psychology, more important about human society, and piece out these puzzles. Why do human beings behave the way they behave? Why do they act the way they act? Despite all the best opportunities, despite all the information we try to provide. So that's why I went to the United States, did my PhD, and started doing research. Asking these kinds of questions. What can we do? What kind of health information can we provide people so that they may be able to take appropriate actions in their lives to improve their lives? Right? For example, we are here to talk about cancer. 30% of the cancers are caused by tobacco use. Cigarette smoking and chewing tobacco. How many of you agree with me that tobacco use is bad? Everybody knows. Everyone knows tobacco use is bad. 35% of the people in the country still use tobacco. Why? In Karnataka, about 3 years ago, when data were collected, tobacco. The government of Karnataka spent 1,000 crores of rupees on treating diseases that are caused by tobacco use. Can you imagine how many hospitals and schools we can build with 1,000 crores of rupees? In India, 10 lakh people die every year because of tobacco-related diseases. 10 lakhs. That's like whole villages disappearing because of tobacco use. It's not floods, it's not cyclones, it's not earthquakes, it is tobacco use. It's a human-caused condition. The question is, even though we know tobacco use is bad, smoking or chewing, why do we continue to do this? What are some of the reasons why people continue to smoke? Why is it that some people smoke, other people don't? Right? These are the kind of questions that we ask in my lab and try to understand. Right? So let me give you some reasons why. I could ask you a lot of questions why, but I think in the interest of time, I'm not going to exchange this colloquially. But poverty is one of the most significant reasons why people smoke. For example, when you're hungry, people try to suppress that hunger by using tobacco. When you're stressed, to cope with the daily stress, what we call daily hassles in life, people use tobacco. Right? When we are with friends, when we are having fun, people smoke. Right? When you are drinking, people think it's a normal thing to smoke along with drinking. When you see movies, when you see advertising, when advertising and movies make tobacco and cigarettes glamorous, right? Our heroes smoke. I won't mention the name of the heroes, but there's a very popular Indian film actor who smokes, right? What kind of role models are there for us to show us that a bad habit is acceptable, right? So we are trying to understand why people smoke. And if we know why people smoke and why they find it difficult to quit that habit, we may be able to develop programs, what we call as interventions, to address that smoking habit. Right? For example, if you have watched Indian movies in the last year and the television programs, whenever there is a smoking incident by the hero or the villain, you see a crawler, right? Which says tobacco or cigarette smoking is bad for you. Right? That came out of our research. We published what is called as a monograph in the US and a paper which showed that when you watch people smoking in movies, the viewers accept that as normal behavior. And the reason we accept that as normal behavior is because we are so absorbed in the story of the movie that we forget to counter-argue, saying that it is a bad habit, don't do it. Because we are too absorbed with paying attention to the story. And that actually normalizes the behavior of smoking. So these crawlers which you see will momentarily disrupt that thinking that this is normal behavior. And experiments have shown that these crawlers can be very successful in actually making people reject the messages that are being shown in the movies. Right? It is this kind of work that informs public policies, government policies. You will be seeing very soon some very graphic photographs on cigarette packs. Really graphic packs. Again, showing lung cancer, showing mouth cancer, right? And the reason for again that those photographs is we know that that kind of generating emotions and fear among people and anger and frustration because you see those photographs can deter people from picking up the habit. And we can do this. Even though in India 10 lakh people die every year, in Hong Kong only 10% of people smoke. In fact, in Hong Kong we are looking at a time when nobody smokes. Hopefully we'll come to this smoke-free society, a smoke-free era. It is possible, it is doable. But in order to do this, we have to continue to do this kind of research, number one. Number two, we have to make sure that this research we do in the labs, this wonderful work we heard about obesity, economics, how do we translate that work that is done there in these wonderful labs and apply it to the society so that social conditions can be changed? Because social conditions influence a lot of human psychology. And my lab's goal is to really understand the social conditions and do something about it. I think, this story will tell you that you don't have to have, all you need is passion. You want to do something, give back to the society. You want to do something, even if it is hard, try to solve the problem. Trying is more important. Right? There are a number of mistakes I have made. It never deterred me, it never had a problem. Right? Because my goal, as we say in the US, always had eyes on the prize. And the eyes on the prize is, can we ameliorate the adverse conditions of human society to really improve the well-being in my own way, in my lab's own way, is through research and science. Thank you.